I'm gonna go ahead and record this part right here. Oh, is it still sharing my screen, y'all? Is it sharing my screen? Yeah, okay, I couldn't tell. Okay, this is going to be talking about concave down as well as concave up. Now, I use the concave down one because it's just a little bit easier to see, but all these characteristics are going to be the same. Again, the ones we talked about with area, that was a concave up, and then the ones that we see in our video a lot today were our concave down ones. So let's go ahead and list a couple of points that we already know. Starting with this very first one, does anybody know what this point right here is called? Just shout it out loud.
X-intercept?
Very good, x-intercept. Now, x-intercept is one name for it, but there's also 3 other names that go with it, and it came with the acronym ROCKS. So we've already got our x-intercept, which is this guy. So now we've got our other 3 things. So one of them is going to be our 0, which is what our calculator tells us if you were on the TI Inspire. Okay, good. Yes, I got it. Perfect. Thank you. And then another one is root. And the last one you're going to see is solution. All 4 of these words go for that single point right there. Now, do I have another solution? Do I have another one? Is there another solution? Yes, there is. So coming over here on the other side, this one is my second solution, also known as my rocks. Now, I would like you to go ahead and write all 4 words right now. The reason why is because it helps retention and helps you remember that these are called our roots and our solutions. Our x-intercepts are 0. That is one attribute that you're going to need to know for our quadratic functions. Here's our next one. Does anybody know what that attribute is called?
Y-intercept.
Perfect. Y-intercept. Now, again, you guys have to memorize these things because Desmos is not going to do this for you. So you're going to have to make sure you memorize them. Okay. Now we've got 2 more attributes. The next attribute is going to be one that our menu 5.1 tells us, and it's called the vertex. It's called the vertex. Now in this case, we have a maximum vertex. Our maximum vertex is over here at 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 9. That is our maximum vertex. Now, with all of the problems that we were dealing with our area, okay, those had minimum vertexes. So this has a maximum vertex. So if I was doing a minimum vertex, it would look like this. Just like that. I'm sorry, y'all. So I got a maximum vertex and I got a minimum vertex. Okay. Now the next thing is going to be what we call the axis of symmetry. So what you guys were noticing is that when that ball went up in the air, okay, what goes up must come down. So that ball was going up in the air and then it was coming down. Now let's pretend that it's a perfect scenario. So I mean, there's no wind, we're just normal gravity, all those good things. So what we're going to notice is that my parabola can be split in half. So I'm going to actually do a highlighter on this one. My parabola can be split in half. This thing right here is called the axis of symmetry. Now, the axis of symmetry always goes down the middle and it goes through the vertex. Now, what axis is my line crossing? Is it crossing the x-axis or is it crossing the y-axis? Yes, Luke, it's crossing the x-axis. So when we write this equation of this line, actually I'll do it underneath it. We're going to write it as x equals and whatever number it crosses on the x-axis, which is 2. So one thing that you're going to notice is that my vertex and my axis of symmetry are very, like they help each other out. So my vertex, the x value is 2. So my axis of symmetry value is also going to be 2. These are the attributes that you have to memorize to be successful with our quadratics. You have your rocks, which is your roots, your zeros, your x-intercept, and your solution. You have your y-intercept. You have your vertex, and then you have your axis of symmetry. Okay, I'm going to move you onto this next page, and I want you to see if you can label these without me. Here we go. Oh, I didn't draw these. Think about where they are. These are on our notes. Oh shoot. Sorry, hold on. All right, just because of time's sake, let's go ahead and let's refresh our brains real fast. Coming over here, again, just a tester. This is just to refresh your brain and give you something in your notability so that you have it. These bad boys right here are called your rocks. They're also known as your roots, your zeros, your solutions, and your x-intercepts. Now, in terms of your STAR test, zero, solution, and x-intercepts are what you're going to see most often, okay? But you can see all of them. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy these guys right here, because guess what? You have another one over here. So because we have another one over here, I'm going to label it right there. Again, these are called your roots, your zeros, your solutions, your x-intercepts. Okay. Next thing we have is our y-intercept, which is this guy right here. Next is going to be our vertex, which is always either the highest or the lowest point. And in this case, because it's a high point, we call it a maximum. Our axis of symmetry is a line that goes down the middle. Sorry. A line that goes down the middle. It always goes through your vertex. This is what your assignment's going to be over today. So I wanted to go over it with you again. Again, your axis of symmetry always goes through your vertex. It'll go through the x value of your vertex, in this case, our x equals 2. All right, I'm going to go ahead and help you guys fill in these next part. Number 1, the y-intercept is where the parabola intersects the y-axis. The vertex of a parabola is the highest or the lowest point of the parabola. A maximum vertex is when the parabola opens down, and a minimum vertex is when the parabola opens up. The axis of symmetry is a vertical line that passes through the vertex and divides the parabola in half. The x-intercepts are where the parabola intercepts the x-axis. Can't spell today, sorry. They are also known as the roots, the zeros, and solutions. The standard form of a quadratic is ax squared plus bx plus c. All quadratics must be equal to 0 in order to graph them, just like we had to convert all of our standard form equations to slope-intercept form equations. So they all have to be equal to 0. And all quadratics have at least 2 solutions. Now here's the thing. Not all of the solutions are real. Okay, so that's going to be something that you need to keep in mind as well. Okay, so let's take a look. If you look at this next part, how many times does my quadratic cross the x-axis? Anybody shout it out?
Two.
2. So guess what? There are 2 real solutions. Okay, next one. How many times does it cross the x-axis on the second one? Anybody?
What?
1 time. So guess what? 1 real solution. I can't spell today. All right, hard one. Last one. How many times does it cross on the last one?
0.
0. So we say this. No real solutions. Now, again, there's still 2 solutions, but there are no real solutions. So it's not going to cross the x-axis. When you get into Algebra 2, you will learn about our imaginary solutions. Okay, imaginary solutions are represented with the letter I. Don't worry, don't freak out, it's okay. Okay. So again, these are all of the attributes that you need in order to be successful with our quadratics, making sure that you know how to find them and use them. For your assignment today, I'll go ahead and I'll show you what that looks like. It's not hard, okay? So it looks like this. I went ahead and I moved you on the pear deck, but I'll show it to you here. Okay, it's not hard. Now look at this. 1 through 9, it's already graphed for you. It's already graphed for you, so you don't have to graph it, okay? You got to look over here and say, okay, what are my zeros? Well, my zeros are these guys right here. So let's do that. Let's write those out. We have -4, 0, and we have 0, 0. Yay, there's my zeros. My axis of symmetry goes down the middle. Hold on, almost done, you guys. It goes down the middle. It's always written as x equals, and then wherever on my x-axis it crosses, which is at -2. Because this is a concave down parabola, it is a maximum. And then your vertex is always the highest point. So our vertex over here is over -2 up 4. This is what you're doing for your assignment today, okay? You're looking at all of the graphs, you're filling in all of the information about each graph. When you get to the second page, this one's a lot easier because look at what it's asking for. I just want you to find the vertex of it. When you do your vertex, you're going to label your points like this, and you're going to use your Desmos calculator to do it. So when I come over to my Desmos calculator, wait for it. Okay, let me plug one in. Here we go. Hold on. Here we go. I'll plug this one. X squared plus plus 11. Oh gosh, that's gonna be bad. 11x, 1x. That's fine. Minus 6. Okay. Here we go. I plugged it in. My vertex is going to be that lowest point right there. And guess what? Your Desmos calculator will show you that. All you have to do is click on it. Just like if you were in class, okay? The only difference is it's not going to say minimum, okay? So that's how you find all of your attributes. This is your assignment that I need you to complete and turn in to me like that. Does anybody have any questions for me?